Haley, and today I'm here with my 8-month-old puppy, Finn. His toy just fell and he wants to get it back. But I'm here with my puppy, Finn, and today I am going to tell you guys the top 11, I'm pretty sure it's 11 things that I recommend that you get if you are planning on getting a new puppy. So when I was just going to get Finn, I had around 3 days to figure out what I wanted to get him because he was sort of like an unplanned kind of puppy. We saw him and we fell in love, so we had to have him. But I was trying to find videos on YouTube where I could just see the necessities that we needed to get for him so that he would be comfortable and so that he would have everything that he needed. And so I was looking at puppy hauls, and a lot of them are like cutesy things. And if you watch my puppy haul, you would see sort of the same thing that I'm saying now. But I wanted to find a video where I could just find the necessities that I needed. I decided to make a video like that if any of you guys are in a situation like I was. So I put together a list of, I think, 11 different categories of things that are like must-haves for a new puppy in your house. But without further ado, let's just get into the video. So my first category that I have are crates and playpens. And for me, this was a lifesaver because he is my first dog and I didn't really know how to like contain him. I didn't want him running around the house because he could, I don't know, go to the bathroom anywhere, and I wanted to make sure that I could see him 24/7 whenever I needed to. I could just go and look. So what we ended up doing was getting a crate and a playpen that was connected, but this was really useful because it was the playpen and it was connected to a crate. So the crate is where he was sleeping and it had a little pillow in there and then he would just come out and play in the playpen area. And the playpen was really good, like big. It took up half of my living room, and so he had a lot of space to play around in there, especially when he was a puppy. He was like tiny. So that is like my number one necessity, not including like food and stuff like that, but that is like something that I and my family really enjoyed, and we couldn't have done it without that playpen. The second thing is like a little pillow to put into the crate, and I'm going to show you Finn's. Oh gosh, he doesn't want to get off of it. Can you please get it? Thank you. This is Finn's little pillow. You cannot see my face, but I am showing it to you. It is literally just like a pillow that you can sleep on. I just washed this, but it's like a little pillow that you can sleep on. And sometimes I even give him my pillows, like, because I have a lot of ones that I sleep on. So if that one's dirty, I just put one of mine in there. And honestly, that's actually works really good too, because you can just put a pillow cover on it, and if it gets dirty, just change the pillow cover, so you don't actually have to wash the entire pillow. I said pillow a lot in that sentence, but he loves this, but he started doing this weird thing where he sleeps under the pillow, and I think it's to keep himself warm, even though he has like a little blanket on top of his crate. But I would recommend getting a pillow because you don't want, especially if you are going to have them be in a crate, you don't want them to have to sit on that hard little floor. Right, and another thing is a blanket for them. Let me get my blanket that I got Finny. So this is the blanket. If you watched my puppy haul video, you would know that I got this blanket. He absolutely loves this. This was the first blanket that we wrapped him in when we were taking him home and like on our drive there. And we had to drive 2 hours, so he was in this for 2 hours. And this is like kind of the first thing that he saw. And so he loves this blanket, as you can see, like he plays with it too. And also this is his placemat because I took him to a trainer and he does the place command. So I tell him place, he sits on it. And so this is his placemat also. And that is what is in the second category. So next is another really important thing, and it's a leash collar set. So something that I didn't know is that there are different leashes for different dogs. I mean, like size-wise, I knew that, but for long-haired dogs, there are specific leashes. I don't know if there are any specific for short-haired dogs, but I know for long-haired dogs, they have specific leashes because you don't want to rip the hair out of their neck. And when I just got him, I did not know that, and now the hair out in his neck got like, not ripped out, but it was like balding, I think, and I'm pretty sure that's the reason for it. These are his collars, and he's wearing one as well because we have 3 different ones. This is his puppy collar, and it is so cute. It has tiny little puppies on it. He's like smelling it. But this is from the Ellen DeGeneres line that they have at PetSmart, and this is his baby collar, but it accidentally like unclipped while I was taking him on a walk, and luckily he was in a heel, so he didn't like run away from me. But it is a really cute collar. This is a puppy collar. I'm just going to keep it, but I didn't feel safe having this on him anymore because it did unbuckle. But this is like just a normal collar. It's not anything specific for long hair. This right here is called a rolled leather collar, and it is specifically made to not pull out the hair in the dog's neck area. And this one's like slightly too big. He's still growing just a little bit, so we're gonna keep this until he grows fully into it. But it is just a black leather collar, and it is like really classy looking also. He does have a matching leash with to this as well. I just can't find it at the current moment, so I'm not going to show that one, but that is my favorite leash to use, and he doesn't bite on the leather leashes, which is also really great. So for the leashes, I have, like I said, a leather leash, but I also have a nylon leash. And the reason that I got a leather leash, well, because first of all, the trainer recommended getting it that I sent him to, but also he bites this leash nonstop, and like it hasn't ripped or anything because he's not really a hard biter. This is like the first leash that we got for him. It has little monsters on it, but I would very much so recommend that you get a leash because you need to take him on walks. I go on a lot of walks with him twice a day, a mile around. So I would really recommend getting a leash, and a good one also, because you don't want it to snap and break in the middle of a walk, which happened to one of my leashes. I don't like retractable leashes. I like leashes that are like this because they won't snap as easily. My retractable leash that I had snapped, and okay, I don't like retractable leashes. So the next category would be grooming supplies for me. And because Finn is a Schnauzer, he is a long-haired breed, which means that he can get matted really easily if you don't brush his coat, which I haven't brushed in a while, but I should do that I should do that soon. So I ended up getting him a slicker brush, and this is what a slicker brush looks like. This is one also for cats. They need these kinds, but you need to make sure that they aren't too rough because they can hurt the skin of the dog, which has happened to poor little Finners before. But this is another thing that I would really recommend you get because you don't want them to be all, he just keeps moving and I need to move him back. This is another thing that I would recommend that you get because you don't want your dog to be all matted, because mats can actually end up hurting them, and you don't want that to happen. So this is another thing that I would strongly recommend getting. Also, I would recommend getting some shampoo because you don't want your dog to be stinky, unless you want to just send them to the groomers all the time, but that can get kind of expensive. So I do wash Finn at home a lot. Next, I would recommend getting food and water bowls because those are really necessary because you don't want them to eat off the ground. But just get some, you can even just get some really cheap stainless steel ones. They sell them at Petco and PetSmart. But also, if you have carpet or tile that you don't want to get wet, you can also get a little mat. And so if your dog ends up picking their head up at in the middle of them drinking water, it won't get all over your floor, which happens to me all the time with him because he has a beard. We are on number 6 right now, and right now I'm going to talk about toys. So you want to get some nicer quality toys for your dogs because the less good. So you want to get some nice quality toys for your dog because the worse the quality of the toy is, the faster it is going to break. And I did realize this with a lot of toys. And I mainly got him some nice quality toys because I didn't want them to rip and I didn't know what kind of chewer he would be. But most of the toys that I got him 6 months ago are still have today. There's only one that was ripped apart, and that's because it had a hole in it originally that I didn't see, and so he was able to rip it apart from there. But without that hole, I don't think he would have been able to because I have a toy I have a toy exactly like that. It's just a different animal, and that one is not ripped apart yet. There are a lot of toys out there, but some of my favorites are thinking toys that you can use for your puppy. So these are really good because they activate their minds, and it makes it so they actually think and they're not just playing, they're actively thinking. So this is one of his favorites, and so this toy comes with 3 squirrels, hey Finn, let go. Oh yeah, I'll just show it to you like this. 3 little squirrels like this, and they go inside of this little tree trunk. It's supposed to be a tree trunk, but they go inside of this little tree trunk like this, and there are little holes, so you stick out their heads, and they have to figure out a way to get them out. And they have to use their paws and like hold it on. And when there are 3 of them in there, they're really packed in. So the dogs really have to think about how to get them out of that tree trunk. There are more thinking toys out there, such as this one right here. And this one is a little bone that you put a couple of pieces of food or chicken or treats of some kind in here. And then you put it into its normal position like this on the floor. And the dog has to push these things to open up the little openings right here that have the food in them. And Finn absolutely loves this one because of the food especially. But also once they like sort of learn how to do this, you also have these white little bones that you put right here, and they have to figure out how to take this out, and the food will be under there. Along with like the whole food toys, there's also some like this that have a big treat inside of it, and they have to figure out how to get it out, or they can just chew it. This also activates the mind because they're actively thinking about how to get the toy out of the ball so they can have the treat out of the ball so that they can have all of it and not just have little pieces, because they see it right here, and he loves this one. He can spend hours in his crate just like chewing on this toy. Of course, there are normal plushie toys, and I just brought a couple of them to show you, but there are just little like stuffy ones like this, and this one I got at Home Goods. A lot of things you can get at Home Goods and it'll be a lot cheaper. But there are stuffy toys like this one that squeak, and he absolutely loves just like chewing on it and like playing catch with these kinds of toys, and that is like this toy as well. And this one is sort of falling apart. This is his absolute favorite toy, especially when he was a puppy. Or not, he still is a puppy, especially when he was like a baby puppy, I guess you can say. What there used to be inside of here is like crinkly noises, and he absolutely loves the crinkly noises. So there are different things that like activate dogs' minds that are good for them, and they're good for learning. And so I would definitely recommend that you get something like that for them. Another thing that I would recommend getting your dog is treats for training, and these are really good, especially if you want to potty train your dog right away to go to the bathroom outside. Finn in particular loved these ones right here. They are trainer treats, and they are like sort of gelatiny. He absolutely loves these ones. They're pretty cheap too, and they are all natural also. Here, let me give him one for being such a good boy. Here, no, buddy, here. You want one? Here, let me get you a nicer one. That one was cut in half. Good boy. But I would recommend getting a whole bunch of treats for training because you want them to go to the bathroom outside, because it sucks when you have to clean up all of their messes that they make. And this actually really does speed up the process of potty training, because I didn't used to give him treats when he was going to the bathroom outside, and as soon as I did, I could tell that he was more inclined to do it outside. Another thing that I would really recommend getting for your dog is something to chew on, such as these things right here. Then you are totally in the way, pumpkins. So things that I would recommend to get are things like bully sticks, and this is actually a bully circle because it's, I don't know, it's made that way. I don't know like what's the difference, but he absolutely loves them, so I'm going to give that to him. There are also bones like this, which are like rawhide, so they do go away with time. But then there are things like this, which are little nylabone type things that don't go away, and he absolutely loves this as well. So I'm going to give that to him as well also. But the reason that you want to get these things are because puppies especially are going to be teething, and so they want to chew on something to soothe their like the soreness in their gums. And so something like that would be perfect because it's something yummy that they can chew on, and also it's something good that that soothes their gums. And also, if they chew on furniture, you can just pop one of these in their mouth, or if they chew on shoes, just pop one of those in their mouth so that they learn that they're not supposed to chew on that stuff, but they're supposed to chew on this. And Finn, oh, he has, knock on wood, never chewed on shoes, furniture, or anything of that sort. He has always chewed on his stuff and his sticks, his bully sticks, and that is really another thing that is like another one of my top recommendations, especially if you are using puppy pads. If you don't know what puppy pads are, they're basically just these pads that puppies can pee on, especially if you live in apartments, or if you are leaving the dog home for a really long time and they're not going to be able to pee outside, they have puppy pads for that. My dog used to chew on his puppy pads, and we would duct tape them down so he wouldn't touch them. We would try everything so that he would not chew and like play with his puppy pads. But then my mom did a little bit of research and found this miracle item right here. So what you do is you put the puppy pad inside of this, like here, and then you cover it with this so that they will not be able to chew or play with the pad that's inside. And I will link this down below. I got it on Amazon and it wasn't that expensive, but this is like a miracle worker if you are going to be using puppy pads, and especially if your dog is chewing on those puppy pads, which is not a great thing because they are very good for dogs to like enjoy. A problem that I did have with this is that he thought that it was a toy at first, and so he would want to go like sit on it, but he wouldn't want to go to the bathroom. But when I just got him, he was automatically drawn to go pee on those puppy pads. So that's where a little bit of our training to have him go to the bathroom on this plastic thing with the puppy pad inside went a little wrong, because he thought this was a toy that he would want to sleep on and stuff like that. So if you do use puppy pads, I would 100,000 million% recommend this, especially if you're having that problem with the chewing as well. Along with like this kind of things when going to the bathroom, I would totally recommend getting some Nature's Miracle No More Marking spray. I would get a big bottle because you never know how much you'll need, and they sell those small little spray bottles. That wasn't enough for me, so I ended up getting a big one like this and just refilling that spray bottle, and it is a lot more like money effective, and like there's still more in here if I need to use it. He's not going to the bathroom inside as much, but we have this just in case. So the last thing that I recommend would be to get a travel kennel like this that you can put in the car. This one specifically has a seat belt like insert where you can put a seat belt into. I would 100% recommend this, especially because if you're going to be traveling to vets or if you're taking them to dog parks, you want them to be as safe as possible. And sometimes, if let's say, like God forbid, you get into a car accident, the dog could get hurt. So it is really a good idea to have a little kennel or a crate that you have in your car so that they can be put in there. He has grown out of this one. I need to get him a bigger one, but yeah, he treats this just like a crate, so he could sleep in it, I guess, if you want to. It's way too small, though, for him. So that is all of that I have for today's video, and I really hope that this helped at least one person out, because like I said, I was looking for a video exactly like this, and if I had one, it would have been a little bit easier for me to get all of the stuff that I needed for him. I am actually glad that I got everything that I did get, because I learned from personal experience what I need and what I don't need, and also when I get dogs in the future, that'll also be something that's a little bit easier for me. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful, and if you guys want any more like dog tips videos like this, be sure to comment them down below, and I would be more than happy to do so. Especially if you're getting a puppy, congratulations, they are a great member of the family to have. I absolutely love Finners. His name's Finn, but I absolutely love him so much, and he's such a fun little addition to the family. Oh, and I just wanted to remind you guys that I still have my giveaway going on, my holiday giveaway. It's open until January 14th, so if you want to enter that, I will link that in the description box down below, and I as well will do an iCard up above. I'm pretty sure it's this side. I'm gonna say it's this side, but I'll link it up here, and if you want to go enter that, I'm giving away some really cool things, a record player, a Polaroid, and yeah, that is all that I have for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys!